Hi guys, welcome to Jiniga Finance. So we're going to be talking about Nigerian loan apps and their non-compliance with laws and the regulations in Nigeria. You know that Nigeria, as much as a lot of people think that there are no laws in Nigeria, we actually have a lot of laws, and we're just going to be looking at how most of these loan apps actually do not comply with the laws that we have in the country. Okay, so before we continue, please give the video a thumbs up, all right, and check the description box for access to classes that you might be interested in. Okay, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, do subscribe to this channel. All right, so let us get started. So digital financing loan apps are governed by certain laws in Nigeria, all right, and so we have different regulations that govern these loan apps. So you have BOFIA, you also have NITDA Act. So let me explain what BOFIA is. BOFIA refers to Bank and Other Financial Institutions Act. That's the first law or regulation that governs what's it called now, digital lending and all that. Then you also have Money Lending Act, or the Money Lenders Law, depending on the states, that is based on individual states in Nigeria. So first of all, for you to get a finance license, you have to get the license from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Okay, so there are different financial services that are giving licenses by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So you could be doing international money transfer, you could be a debt administration service, mortgage services. You can get licenses from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So when it comes to banks and other financial institutions, because banks are not the only financial institutions, okay, so you have other financial institutions that are not banks. But for you to be able to operate in Nigeria, the law is that you need to get a license, all right. Then when it comes to investment opportunities, you need to get your license from the SEC, that's the Securities and Exchange Commission. So that's why anything that has to do with investment, anything that has to do with brokerage, is the Securities and Exchange Commission that is responsible for that. But when it has to do with banks, financial institutions, financial services, the CBN is largely responsible for that. CBN means Central Bank of Nigeria, all right. Now when it comes to money lending, because we're talking about loan apps in Nigeria, this field is fairly very new. It's still a very new field, so a lot of regulations are not in place, so to speak. So what most people do, or what most of these loan apps do, is that they get a money lending license, and the money lending license is largely regulated by the states in Nigeria. So each state has their money lending regulations or money lending laws. Okay, so what those who now have what's it called now, a larger outreach do, is to ensure that they get money lending license across the 36 states in Nigeria, all right. So that's being said, so for instance, in Lagos, you have the Lagos State Money Lenders Law, all right. So for you to lend money to a person and get an interest, you have to have a lending license to be able to collect your money in law, all right. To go to a court and say, oh, this person is owing me money, on what basis did you give that person a loan? Are you a money lender? And the proof that you're a money lender is that you have a money lending license. So I just wanted to establish that. If you understand what I've just said, say yes, Professor Tope, I understand what all that you have said. Now most of the loan apps, usually some of them, all right, have registered businesses. Some of them are registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria, and they have the licenses to operate, okay, as lenders, or some of them these days, now most of them are transitioning from just being money lenders to actually getting microfinance licenses. So you have people like Fair Money becoming a microfinance bank. You have Kuda having a microfinance bank. You also have what's this other people, I can't remember their name, but a couple of them have gotten microfinance licenses. Okay, PiggyVest is not a lending company, but they also have a microfinance license currently. Now those are the ones that are operating within the ambit of the Nigerian law. Then there are some that don't even have any of this. Illegal operators of lending, money lending, there are a lot of them. Some are not even licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria because of how the digital space works. And like I said, this aspect of finance is still fairly very new, so a lot of laws, a lot of regulations are really not in place. Now having said that, you know that the country is hard, and a lot of people are finding difficulties in raising financing and all of that. So a lot of small businesses, a lot of individuals will go and get loans from these people, and we talk a lot about that a lot on this channel. However, these lending apps, some of them, or these lending services, have a way of doing business that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. So is this social shaming of customers who have patronized their services. So you don't pay back your loan at the end of the tenure of that loan. Usually what occurs is that these lending services can now begin to broadcast your private information to other people. You're giving your details to other people, right? And this is an illegal action based on the NITDA Act. So what is NITDA? Today is a serious class, okay? So let's look at what is NITDA. NITDA is a National Information Technology Development Agency that is responsible for developing and regulating information technology in Nigeria. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details on their act and all of that, since we're talking about the laws that regulate that. No, let's not go into that. Let me not confuse you. Anyway, so they regulate information technology in Nigeria. And you know that these apps, because these lending services have to make, or most of them, they don't have to, most of them make use of technology, information technology, by creating apps in order to operate in Nigeria. So on one hand, you have NITDA that oversees them. Then you also have the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation that came into force in 2019. It's known as the NDPR. So the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation, basically what it is that they are charged with the responsibility on data privacy. So as an individual, you have a right to privacy in respect of your data, because most times when you download most of these apps in general, you are requested, or you are required to give out your information in order to access these services. Now the companies behind these apps, they have a responsibility to treat your data as an important commodity, because your data is actually a commodity, because that's why you have some of these large technology companies that begin to sell your data. And it's been a global discussion on where do we draw the line. At what point can a company that I gave my data, that you have a fiduciary responsibility to keep my data you now begin to sell my data. So that's why you have in the European countries, in America, it's an ongoing conversation. They are very strict on these things. So but here in Nigeria, we have the NDPR that is charged with that responsibility, how your data is processed, what it is used for. So they are the ones that regulates your privacy and all of that. Now, in the act, in the NDPR Act, there are provisions for users of technology and all of that to give consent for their data to be used and all of that. And this is one loophole, should I call it a loophole, that most of these loan services they make use of, because for you to access a lot of these loan services, you have to give a consent for them to use your data. That's for those that are operating legally, because like I mentioned, some of them are not licensed, some of them don't even have any license whatsoever to operate within Nigeria. Do you get? So these are the laws that kind of governs these loan apps, and these are some of the issues. Because in as much as you want to sue them because they are violating your privacy, but most times what occurs is that you have given them the consent, to use your data in case of default. So those are the issues. But countries like Kenya, for instance, I read recently that they have set up something, they've banned loan apps from publicly shaming their users when they are in default. There are other ethical ways to do recovery. You don't have to go on a rampage embarrassing people in order to recover your money. As an institution, you should have a framework before you give out loans to people. You should have a framework to know that this person is capable of paying back. That should have to do with your risk management and all of that. But I see that a lot of them, recently I was at an event where I met like a founder of one of these loan apps, and I was asking, so what is the risk management processes before you give out loans? And the person was it was not coherent. I'm like, so you just give out loans to people, how do you expect to get back your money? So you now have to employ underhanded means to get back your money. Do you get? So recently, NITDA, remember NITDA, they sanctioned Soko Loans. Soko Loans app is one of the notorious apps in Nigeria that they send out your pictures, send out death threats. I think I did a short some time ago, and they slammed them with 10 million naira fine. But we still believe that this is not enough. It is not enough, because more can be done. Like I said, in Kenya they've been banned, and the regulations on these loan sharks is much more stiffer than what we have in Nigeria. But yeah, this is to educate you to understand the laws that govern them. So let me just recap all that I said. So you have BOFIA, you have NITDA, and you have the NDPR, and you have money lending laws. These are the laws that govern loan apps in Nigeria, loan app services in Nigeria. If you have any more questions, if you like more educational content like this, let me know in the comment section. Ask me questions in the comment sections. I will do a video. If I can't do a full video, I'll do a short video. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.